This is Riley Jackson. You're tuned in to State of Pro Wrestling. Follow me on social media at the Young Gun RJ. Thank you very much.
Hello, fans. My name is John Fredrickson. This is State of Pro Wrestling. What a weekend it has been. The pre and post shows going on, but the post show of all post shows capping off the weekend here Sunday night in Grand Forks. Timebomb Pro Wrestling. We are here with a very special guest, the man behind Timebomb Pro Wrestling, simply known as Eric. How you doing tonight, Eric?
Good, man. How about you? Did you like the show and everything?
Amazing, man. I'm going to steal the interview right now since you asked me a question.
Yeah.
I came in here. I'm not a big fan of deathmatch, honestly. But yeah, coming out. Like I tried to tell Oren and Ricky Noren, it was just an amazing night. Like the feeling you get when you see those bands, and just it made me want to go jump around and knock those kids down. But I was like, not tonight, okay. But just the heartbeat, feeling the adrenaline rush, seeing it. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to handle it. I watched some of the videos that you guys have on your YouTube channel, and seeing some of the blood flying and everything, I wasn't sure I'd be able to handle it, honestly, because and a lot of wrestling critics will say it's fringe and this and that. How do you feel about deathmatch wrestling?
Deathmatch is definitely an acquired taste, but the way we do it, it's so intimate and it's so in your face that I feel like a lot of people just come out loving it. Like there's a huge difference between watching it on TV and watching like it in real life and being in front of you and everything. And I think people get a newfound respect for it when they see it in real life and they see what these guys are going through and everything. And wrestling is just such a broad stroke. Like there's just so many different aspects of it, and people can say this isn't wrestling, they can say it is wrestling. Like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like people had a good time, and that's all I really care about. So if somebody wants to say it's not wrestling, good for them. Like they enjoy what they enjoy, and I enjoy what I enjoy. So it's just kind of it's a little broad, but that's just my output on it. So
beautifully, very, very well said here. Like I was gonna say, I was blown away when Oren left and everything. I wanted to let him know there was a great night, that there was a new deathmatch fan, that I really enjoyed everything that we seen tonight. It was very different seeing Joey Ryan versus Eric Cannon, kind of switch up the pace a little bit and do something different. I had to see if Joey was officially a deathmatch wrestler now. What got you first into deathmatch wrestling?
Old Japanese tapes like FMW and stuff like that. So just kind of the older 90s stuff like that. So CZW, early 2000s, stuff like that. So definitely ECW and all that stuff. So just all the hardcore stuff from when I was younger and everything. So kind of evolved into this now.
Now, other than obviously checking out Timebomb Pro Wrestling and everything you guys have been able to put together here, what are some death matches or maybe some wrestlers or promotions that you would suggest to somebody who's maybe not a fan of deathmatch to check out?
I would definitely, for right now, suggest Game Changer Wrestling. They're kind of leading the charge in the whole deathmatch thing. Them, and then the no ring thing really is taking off. There's Casanova Valentine in New York. He kind of started the whole no ring deathmatch thing, and that's where I got the idea from, and kind of have his blessing to do it and everything. So he's got all of his stuff on YouTube. Check out No Peace Underground. They also do no ring stuff. So Game Changer for sure. CZW still does some stuff here and there, but Game Changer for sure. I would recommend going and checking out their videos and stuff. Like they're on IWTV now and all that. So definitely check that stuff out. And they got like the Nick Gage Invitational and stuff like that. So a lot of deathmatch heavy shows and all that. And they're kind of doing it in a tasteful way. Like there's a lot of stupid stipulations and stuff where it's just kind of, it makes it look very trashy. But there is a way to make it look good to a point. Like you're still hitting each other with glass tubes and stuff. But there's a way to make it look a little bit more professional and everything. And I think we're entering an era where deathmatch wrestling is a lot more popular and it's getting taken more seriously and everything. It's not just dudes hitting each other with stuff. They're incorporating moves and everything into it, and it's a lot more sophisticated, if I would say. So
definitely, man. We used to dabble in some backyard wrestling, and honestly, the first match that I watched, it was like the first move was light tubes over the face, and I was like, the old timey racist booker in me was like, where do they take this story from here? First second, the guy gets busted open with light tubes. Where do they go? And tonight, especially with characters like Ricky Noren challenging for the title, and somebody like Oren Veit, as a promoter, how do you find guys to bring in like this? What is your process behind that?
You know, it all kind of starts with Oren, and you know, he's got his little group of academy kids that he's kind of morphing into his own little vision. So, you know, like Riley Jackson and Ricky Noren and those guys, they kind of dabble in the death matches and stuff. And I know Ricky can go, and he
people you didn't think would go.
Yeah, you know, he kind of came out of nowhere doing death matches and everything, and he's doing a really, really good job, and I'm excited to see where the future takes him and everything. But, you know, a lot of it's definitely Oren kind of telling me like who he's interested in, or if he wants to call somebody out at a show, you know, then he forces my hand on that one. So, but you know, so just kind of go where he goes. So
yeah, he's just like I was telling her earlier. I was like, one of the hardest workers. Like, that guy wants it.
100%. Yeah.
A lot of people say, "Hey, I want to be a pro wrestler," but not everybody puts in all the hours and work.
Exactly, and you know, like even before he was doing the death matches, he fucking flew himself out to California and was training with Shibata and stuff, doing like New Japan stuff, and like, you know, it's paying off for him. It's cool to see him kind of find himself in the deathmatch scene. He's going to Japan in February. Like I couldn't be prouder to have him as like our face of Timebomb Pro Wrestling. So
what a dream.
Yeah, exactly. So
to see somebody chasing, that's one of the things State of Pro Wrestling we're always like, it's all about the real life impact, and to see somebody chasing their dreams like that is important to me. Everybody who's out there a dream chaser.
Yeah, it's very satisfying to see it all come to fruition like that. So,
how do you find a venue? Like, we talked to the venue owners, and I was like very appreciative that they would throw something like this. How does that process go about?
You know, so I kind of like, I'm very much in the punk rock ethos. Like, I've been in the scene for so long and everything, and like people see that.
You're in Grand Forks or where?
Yeah, I'm from Grand Forks, so like I've been going to Ohata for forever. So it's kind of places like that have like the punk rock vibe to them. You know, they don't give a fuck as much about places, and so
amazing.
They don't care if there's glass all over the floor and stuff like that. So, you know, Ohata and the Aquarium in Fargo are like my two venues, and those are just places that, you know, they just kind of go with the flow. Like I couldn't do this at places where there's like regulations and stuff like that. You know, you just kind of got to find the places that understand what you're trying to do. And like,
you mean tonight was not sanctioned by the North Dakota Athletic Commission?
Luckily, they don't sanction wrestling. So
all right. I was thinking when Joy Ryan pulled out the suckers, and I was thinking that was some health code violations there. We don't want to get the record placing.
What sucker? You know, yeah.
Such a beautiful venue there tonight, with food and drinks and kind of a chill atmosphere. Just reminding me of the places I've been from. It felt like home tonight. Very beautiful. Now, a lot of people talk about I'm gonna start my own company and what I would do. How did you get started and everything? How did you make it happen from like an idea in your head?
You know, I saw the stuff that like Casanova Valentine was doing, and I kind of just like, I had known Oren and Cody for a little while, just going to indie shows and stuff, and I knew they did the deathmatch stuff, so I kind of, you know, not to float my boat too much, but like if I want to do something, I'm kind of the person to just go and do it. Like, I don't really think about the money aspect or anything. I sometimes I don't even pay rent, like, because I'm doing stuff like this. Like, I'm not losing money anymore, luckily, but in the beginning it was a little rough, and like I just kind of wanted to go out and do it and just see what happens. You know, it is starting to pay off a little bit, like getting bigger crowds and everything. But you know, I just hit those guys up, and it was good that I knew them and everything. And I had 2 academy guys open the show, and they knew them and everything. So it's kind of just broadened out from that, like them knowing everybody and stuff. So it's just getting to know everybody more and all that. So.
Very cool vibe there tonight. You've seen a lot of people, just great sentiments of fans having a great time, people getting along together at a death match, metal. What is the music type? Is it death metal or metal exclusive? Or
it was all over the place. You know, there's like punk, there's death metal, there's hardcore, everything like that. You know, I try to keep it in like the heavier range, just so we're not like going from a crazy death match to like some sort of like soft indie band or anything like that. But you know, I like all genres and stuff. It's just I kind of try and keep it like that so we can keep the vibe going and everything. And you know, you see a death metal band and then you see a death match, it kind of all vibes together and everything, and gets you pumped up, gets your blood flowing and all that. So
awesome, man. I really enjoy that. Any matches, maybe the matches, or one match that stands out that you've done for Timebomb Pro Wrestling that somebody checking it out for the first time dive into your catalog?
Yeah, so we had a show in July in Fargo, and all of the matches can be found on our YouTube channel. Just type in Timebomb Pro Wrestling. If you want to check out Deathmatch, definitely check out Oren Veit versus Matt Tremont. And then if maybe the Deathmatch,
I think that's the first one I see.
Yeah. And if the deathmatch stuff isn't really your thing, we had Effie in from Florida, and we did what was Effie's Twink Gauntlet, and it was a big long match of just him taking down a bunch of short little hairless men. So it's comedy, but it also had a lot of meaning behind it and everything, and that's something I'm extremely proud of pulling off and everything. So definitely check those two out if you're looking to check out Timebomb Pro Wrestling. So
Very cool. Any last words about tonight's show or anything?
It was just a really good show. I thank everyone for coming down. I thank you guys for traveling and everything. Like it blows my mind that people want to drive down for these shows and everything. And it's a really cool vibe, and I'm glad that people like get the vision that I'm trying to do and everything. So I thank everyone. I thank you guys for sure. So
for sure, man. I'm always trying to dig and see what's out there, and you've been at this more than a year, and ever since you guys started, I was like, what is this? What is this? It's very cool, very, I don't know, that do-it-yourself that we were talking about. Like, it's there, and like it's beautiful, man. Like, you don't need $1 million. We had one of the biggest stars in indie wrestling, Joey Ryan. You had Eric Cannon here tonight, who a genius in his own right, does a lot of amazing things. WrestlePalooza we got to see this weekend, but back-to-back nights we came here.
Sounds like a really good weekend.
Amazing night. Hey, we got the portrait of blood, Ricky Norin.
Perfect, yeah.
I was like, are you giving this to your nephew or anything? And he was like, no, I'll sign it. He was gracious enough to sign it.
Perfect.
I'm like, do I hang it up on the wall? Do we give it away? I don't know.
Well,
we love the fans.
Finest, so it's a nice souvenir to take home. So.
Yeah, some beautiful work. Any last words for the fans or where they can keep up? You say YouTube or anything?
Yeah,
else?
so YouTube is Timebomb Pro Wrestling. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Timebomb Pro for all of that. So yeah, just keep up. We're gonna announce some shows pretty soon here, and we'll be going into 2020 pretty hard. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Awesome. I thank you very much for interviewing.
Awesome, man. Thank you for taking time out of your day.
Yeah,
appreciate it, man. This is a great night today at Timebomb Pro Wrestling.
Yeah,
thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, this is John Frederickson. My voice is dying. Luckily, the microphone and all the gear's holding up. We haven't had to fire anybody today off the staff, so it's a good day at State of Pro Wrestling. Thank you, fans, for tuning in.
This is Darby Allen.
And Hell's favorite harlot, Priscilla Kelly.
Check out State of Pro Wrestling.
I'm Desmond Xavier.
Zachary Wentz.
Trey Miguel.
And together we are the Rascals.
And you're watching.
You're listening.
No, you're listening.
You're listening.
What are we?
Camera right there.
The state of the what?
The wrestling, State of Wrestling?
The
Press the
state of pro wrestling. Is it a podcast? What is it? Shoot interviews. Shoot. Hello. You're watching that.
Get down. Someone said shoot. Get down. Oh.
Red light on, baby. Old Messer here. Checking in State of Pro Wrestling. It's Master approved, big dog. Check that out right now. 10 out of 10 stars on that. What's that, Meltzer? Fuck Meltzer, baby. Old Master approved, big dog. Who?
My name is Brian Pillman Jr., and you are watching the State of Pro Wrestling.